Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. We're continuing on with our Megadungeon crawl of the Halls of Arden Vul by Richard Barton, using the old school central system by Gavin Norman, known as Necrotic Gnome. I am your referee for the evening. My name is John. Going around the horn, once again, we have...
I'm Mike. I play Gorn Blackhood, the dwarf.
David normally plays Anwir, the human illusionist. He is dead to us tonight, however. Hopefully we shall see him soon.
I'm Matt. I play Avaricios, the cleric. Who knows? Maybe I can revive David and bring him back to us. I'm not putting money on it.
No, I wouldn't either. I'm Ted. I'm playing Squeegee, the most interesting goblin in the world.
Nice. All right. We are continuing on. We are in a bit of a pickle at the moment.
Pickle.
Actually, we got this.
Actually, looking at my text messages, it looks like this pickle may have just gotten a little bit better because I think we're about to get our fourth member coming in. So give us 1 second. We're gonna pop this guy on right at the beginning of the series here. All right, one moment. And look who has joined us. He's
alive.
He is back. Thank God. All right, David is back with us with Anwir. All right, so last we met our intrepid adventurers. They were in quite a pickle. It is the 7th of Logarios. It is about 2:30 in the PM. They've all got some of their stats pumped up, especially Anwir, and some of them pumped way down, especially Anwir, actually. And for some reason, Avaricios is being followed around by an ibis bird representation of the god Thoth that only he can see, which is rather strange.
I think everyone's just like messing with me, honestly.
Yeah, seriously. But the spells, once again, that people have memorized, I got Anwir with the Phantasmal Force. We have Avaricios with Light and Cure Light Wounds. And they are in a very large chamber down in the area just north of the Well of Light, trying to find some sort of exit back out to the top. After speaking, presumably, to the god Thoth, Anwir was... given supposed directions that it's by the god that the escape is somewhere to the north. So they head in that direction. They come upon a very, very disturbing scene after hearing screams off in the distance, entering into this room. Let's give a quick recap of what the room looks like. So you have a 70-foot by 70-foot relatively square chamber. It has a double row of columns that go up to about the halfway point from the entrance, which you guys are entering from the south. There's also diagonal rows of columns that also jut off to the northwest and the northeast. Each of those has a guttering torch, which lights the scene in sort of a hazy, sort of ominous manner, not quite reaching the far corners of this room, right? Now, directly in the center of the room, there are two daises. One, there's a marble triangle dais atop of which there is a large black iron post with shackles on it. On the other end of those shackles is a naked man that you can't tell the features. You can tell that he has been beaten and tortured, and he was the source of the screams that you heard. Facing that man, further up to the north, is another dais upon which sits a gigantic red throne, which when you looked at it closely, you realize that it was made out of a single large cut ruby, seemingly impossible, but just this faceted, strange red emanating throne. And sitting upon that throne was what appeared to be a man. This man was clean cut, 5 o'clock shadow, dark circles underneath his eyes, wearing gray armor, but of extremely well made, and was carrying a beechwood club, finely carved, but the top of it had actually been cut out so that it could fit a buzzsaw-like blade with lapis lazuli spokes in it. Very, very strange looking device. And the only word that you heard him say as he gestured to one of the two gigantic 4-armed 10-foot tall baboons that are dominating the chamber was, "Again." And one of the baboons picked up the man and with its underarm basically smacked him across the face, causing him to sprawl out on the ground on the dais before him. In addition to those two large 10-foot 4-armed baboons, just kind of picture Goro from Mortal Kombat, six larger than normal albino baboons, the baboons that you've seen before, basically, human-sized, are also sort of dotted around the chamber. So that seems to be the scene. Now, you guys are viewing this from the southern corridor, which has been lined with mirrors, basically mirrors where you went, looking into it so that I believe we only have the black light torch for you
That's
guys,
just
right? So you guys are pretty much safe as long as you don't make noise, right? There's none of your light is actually shining into the room. A couple of additional details that you guys notice is that there are 2 extremely large area rugs, like filthy rugs, that are on either side of the branching pillars that branch to the northwest and the northeast. So they're sort of like symmetrical but canted to the side on either side of the room, kind of bracketing the marble dais with the iron spike, with the iron post. It was quite large. And
Are these like maybe like prayer rugs where the faithful would bow and sit before the daises?
perhaps, but they're so filthy you can't really tell. Like, there's no pews or anything like that, but there definitely seems to be an area of religious significance, at least at one point. But you can't tell if the ruby throne was actually something that was meant to have been here. You're not really sure, because it's such an odd thing. In addition, exits and entrances out of the room. Of course, there's the main entrance, which empties out into this. This is not a door. This is actually an archway that leads into the room. There are 2 small doors that are on the northern wall, basically equidistantly spaced. Let me just get the exact thing. So they are both 20 feet in from either side. And there is another wooden door that is in the exact center of the eastern wall.
Wait. Okay, so exact center of eastern wall, a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say 20 feet in, do you mean here?
Correct. You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
And there we go. Okay, doors.
All right. Let me switch over for the guests. The viewers.
Our guests.
Our
Each
guests.
of you
Welcome
is
to our
honored,
home.
Be our guest.
treasured. We are pleased to have you in our humble home.
This is only for video people, though. All you audio people are
You
shit out of
podcasters
luck.
can get bent.
Yep. Look at those doors. Ooh. Ooh.
Props to Matt for that one. On our other OSC game, he started using the little rectangle feature on the map on Owlbear for doors.
Beautiful.
Thought,
Now you just have to go back through all of the rest of the
I will
dungeon.
fix every single one.
Redo everything.
Okay, so so that's the deal. It's a scene out of Nightmare. So you see the slight man, right, with the 5 o'clock shadow, kind of a handsome guy, a little rough around the edges, right. He's sort of leaning forward, leaning on his beechwood club. The club is sort of like perched on top of like the arm of one of the ruby chair. You know, he just kind of leans forward again and just sort of tilts his head with sort of crazy looking eyes at the sprawled out form of the man who's just sort of like his shoulders like hitching with pain sobs, and the huge baboon just like
Okay, so when we built the tripod and the sort of apparatus that was there in the Lightwell room, we picked up parts from all around the room, and we built it, and we decided that it's missing what we believe is to be the main mirror, which can be aimed or something like that.
That's what you
Disco
surmise,
ball.
yeah.
Disco ball, something. Okay. So 2 questions related. One is, based on where the parts were distributed throughout the room, do we get a sense of like this thing was picked up and tossed to the southwest, and we should maybe start looking in that direction for the missing part? Or was it spread very evenly? And similarly, is there any evidence in the dust and rat droppings and whatnot on the floor that someone went through a particular direction dragging parts?
Unfortunately, there's nothing there that you would indicate. It was pretty much chaos in the well of light. It looks like a room that was crisscrossed very often.
Okay.
And the nature of the rods that formed that thing gave you no indication of like where the mirror itself would have gone. There was no indication that the mirror was broken in any sort of way. Like all the rivets and holes where something like that would fit, like a swivel apparatus, was all whole and fine. This is actually kind of useful. What you can see is that it looks like whatever piece is missing was carefully dismantled and taken out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually worse for us though, Ted.
It kind of is, yeah. Because it means someone's got it somewhere and they're using it for their own purposes, or they thought it was shiny and beautiful, and the baboons have it in their nest, or
Yeah. So you know, once again, it is 2:30. We already let a turn pass as you sort of took in this scene, basically.
Yeah.
But the time marches on. As you know, random counters are a bad thing in this level. So what do you do?
I don't know about you. I would like to very quietly back up so that
Yeah.
we can reevaluate our you know, it was nice to hear how cool and comfortable you are down the hall, but there's a big monster and a bunch of guys with arms that where they shouldn't be, right up there.
So
No, I get that. My point was, like, where do we go? Like, we can back up and go somewhere. Do we have any clue of where to go? Or
you do know that there is directly behind you. There is an open door to the east, which you have. There was a jar.
I was going to suggest. Why don't we back into that space
and at least take a look first and make sure that there's not
yeah.
So as you are backing away, you can the man that was looking at the prisoner leaning forward, and his whispery voice that sort of kind of carries echoes through the hall, through the chamber. He says, "I'm going to ask you one more time. I want to know how your compatriots are able to find my hidden tunnels. I know you are out there in the west of the ruins. Tell me, and the pain will end." And the man just sobs, and his face sort of rises up. You can see that his face is like completely bloated, like a boxer's face, like someone who just got out of an MMA fight, right? Like it's just his eyes are like bloated shut, basically, and we can't tell if the man was handsome or whatever. It's just a wreck, right? But he's like, I tell you, I found this place by myself. I don't have any. Impossible. Again, the ape slaps him again. Worthless. And
I mean, that's some pretty good info right there, boys.
How do you mean?
He says,
sorry.
Sorry, he says, he goes, Trefco, take him back. No, I'm sorry, wrong one. Trefco's the other one. Trefco's the one that's standing right next to him. He goes, Cisco, take him back to your chambers. Hang him up again.
Cisco of Star Trek fame. We have to.
It is spelled that way too.
Yeah. That's great.
And so Cisco, and he picks up the man, pulls out like a small little key in like one of his underarm things and just sort of unlocks the shackles, and he like brings his the guy's face like real close to his and just like breathes on him like real heavily, and then like his lips pull back in that way that only baboons and like mandrills do, you know what I mean, like just exposing all those teeth, and just drags him off. And let's see, where does he?
Please not towards us. Please not towards us. Please.
Away from us.
He's coming straight toward you.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Is he really?
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at possible how to get back to his lair. He drags him away from you, thank God, to the door to the northwest.
Okay.
And you see Garrelad, he pulls down a finger like this to Tresco, and he whispers something in his ear. Tresco goes off to the east through the eastern door. And the man yells out, he goes, "Hurry up!" And he just sort of sits back on his throne, like impatiently sort of tapping the throne. And then like a couple of like the smaller baboons sort of come up, and he just kind of gently pets them. It's all right. It's
gross.
It's fine. This is what you kind of witness as you sort of back away.
Yep. Let's pop into that. Look around the door in the corner of that, into the opening of that eastern room.
Sure.
So, John, before we get too far down that hall, does any of this iconography like ring a bell? Like the ruby throne, the man in gray leathers, any
Elric.
of that?
So
Elric and Melda Bonet. Come on, man.
So the man,
Doesn't know that.
the man. First of all, like it does kind of conjure that image, but to be clear, like he's not like, he doesn't have white hair and like all like sort of, you know what I mean? He's he actually has like straggly brown hair. But
you're a clue.
Point being, huh? Anyways, the only thing, Matt, is that the ruby throne, although you've never seen its like, it does trigger a memory that that the blood of Thoth in some writings is often depicted to be tiny rubies. Like when Thoth is cut, he bleeds rubies.
Damn.
Somebody took a big poke into him.
We need a god in a box.
Ooh. All right. Well, more importantly, we need a big old mirror,
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
So
go look in that room to the east real quick.
or we run away. Okay, room in the east then.
okay.
I do want to just say, I just want to just throw out a suspicion real quick, guys. I think your coon made us, and he told that other guy, Tesco, to go, go. He's like, oh, go over there and hurry up and be quick. Maybe Tresco is
Kind of
circling
surprise.
us.
Surprise.
Yeah, he's circling us to come around. So shields up.
Okay, shields up. Yep.
Okay, so going back down the hallway, you peer into that door that's ajar before going in. You can see that this room. Oops, I lost it. Hold on a second. Close my PDF. This room, it opens up into ajar into a small 10-foot by 10-foot hallway before opening up to a large rectangular chamber of which you're coming in from the exact middle of the western side. The chamber is approximately 50 feet north to south and about 25 feet, so 2.5 squares east to west. So, yes, there's this 50-foot wide corridor to the east, and it looks... it's basically the whole entire chamber is like a complete wreck. There's small bits of wood in the room, some heaps of baboon dung that make it kind of smell really bad. The smell of baboon urine is also prevalent, and there is the occasional bone is also strewn across the floor.
Gross.
The door itself is like badly damaged. It's like barely hanging on one hinge, which is why it was ajar. Yeah, and the pieces of wood actually look like slatboard, as if it was once formed like multiple thin walls within the chamber itself at one point. Like it's not like table legs and stuff like that. It's like long planks.
Partitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had cubicles, right? Where their offices were, and those were their cubicles.
Right. Why? We've established a safe zone. No, we have.
Well, you don't see any exits, unfortunately, but you can't
No
close
exits.
you cannot close yourself into this room unless you have some other means of doing so.
Is there any pile of debris in here that is evidently big enough to contain what we believe to be the mirror?
No. You can
Okay,
take
let's
All pretty
grab
just
it.
flat on the floor.
Yeah. Okay, let's get out of here then. We don't have time
I
to.
don't think we need to do anything
Yeah.
here right now. We're too close to danger.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
So we come out. We've got a choice of going down the diagonals or back down to the center room. I'm kind of inclined to take this diagonal that's on the western side and get a sense of.
Just to fill it in.
Well, partly to fill it in and to see whether or not there's something going on in the center of those diagonal hallways. Like, why are they there?
Yeah, John said that we didn't know it was there. So
Right.
Yeah, just because your
That's
black
fine.
light can't reach that far down.
Right. So I
Okay,
say we go
let's-
down that one and just figure out what's
Yeah,
going on.
especially since the big forearm guy went that way. Let's go the other way.
Okay, so as you branch off and you start heading down to your right, which would be down the southwestern hallway,
Right.
You can hear behind you. You hear a whimper of what appears to be like probably a female voice, and you hear the jingle of shackles and the snap snap.
Uh-oh. New victim for torture?
Seems to be.
right,
And then
go on.
it fades off at the distance as you start to go down that hallway. Now, the blacklight torch illuminates. Indeed, it does not just... it does connect up. But
Okay.
to the southeast, directly where you have not drawn in, Ted,
Okay.
it opens up into a chamber.
Ooh.
Okay, southeast.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
it opens up directly the width of what you have open there for about 5 feet inwards, and then opens up into a I guess that would be about 30 foot by 10 foot rectangular room. It basically aligns with the well of light, parallel to the well of light room, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. 30 foot by how big?
30 foot by 10 feet. Difficult to kind of measure that because you're on a slant. and you're entering in
Right.
directly from the middle of that, right? So, yeah, you got it, Ted. Yep, exactly.
So something like probably about like this.
Hell yeah, Ted. Well done. All right.
Well, it's not quite right. There we go. Come on, little tool. There we go.
Yeah, nicely done.
Did it?
Very cool. So, and then the wall, the northwestern wall does connect, right? So that's all one chamber.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
One hallway. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, let's check out
Yeah.
that little.
So
Oops.
it's impossible to miss because as you come across it, there's no door, right? So you look in there and you can see that there are two simple looking stone benches that run along the room that basically allows anyone who's sitting there to sort of look at and view the iconography, which is all around the plastered walls. In addition, there is a 5-foot diameter circle on the ground of yellow marble, which stands out from the rest of the marble, which is from the rest of the floor, which is just stone, right? So there's a 5-foot diameter circle of yellow marble. It is directly in front of the southeast wall. The wall, that particular wall, the southeast wall, shows rows of robed figures raising their hands toward a yellow globe from which no rays extend. So it's just like a yellow circle on the wall, right? The figures themselves are superimposed. Are superimposed on a dark background, which makes them sort of look like they're floating in like a starry void sort of thing. Right? So yellow marble circle on the floor made out of marble. Then all the wall there is depicting robed figures raising their hands toward a yellow globe, which has no rays extending from it, and they're in a dark background. Okay. Across the top of the image, inscribed in Mithric, which Anwir can read, it says, "Let the faithful acknowledge the darkness and invoke the light of truth." There is signs that baboons have crossed through here, but not paid much attention to it, right? Like there's nothing here of interest for them, it appears.
What I think is really interesting about all of these like rooms that we're coming across and the like the painting and the carving on the wall is I get the sense that like although there was a priestly class of some kind that was here like doing stuff, I feel like there must have also been a lot of like believers and faithful of the cult that were like coming down here and going through a ritualized sort of navigation of points, like kind of doing the points of the cross kind of thing. You had to go to all the different spots and you'd get the mysteries of thought that way.
Like the Stations of the Cross.
And so like, what's that?
Like the Stations of the Cross, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes
You know what
sense.
I said?
That makes sense.
And like, there's a part where you're going to come in and like the cult guys are going to like wiggle the mirror around and the light of thought will illuminate you, which is funny because they actually have real magic down here too. They've got fucking teleport circles, but they've got to set up mirrors around the place to like bamboozle the faithful or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
Well, I think they're very cynical. I think they want the sunlight down here to actually represent the light of truth, right? Like,
Yeah, bring the light down here and shine on everything. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let the faithful acknowledge the darkness and invoke the light of truth.
Yeah, but I'm sure they were also asking for donations, so
sure.
A turn went
I
out.
don't trust them.
Temples like this don't build themselves for free.
Yeah.
John, I want to go and investigate the orb itself. I'm going to go see if there's any way to manipulate it, turn it, flip it,
The one that's
detonate it.
The one that's part of the plaster
The
painting.
fresco, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So you get up real close, you can see that it's painted on plaster, so it's not like made of the stone, and it doesn't seem to be anything different than normal paint like the rest of it.
Okay. And what about the superimposed figures? Are they painted on as well?
Yeah,
or
they're all of a kind. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
John, since we're
It's-
spending... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Since we're spending a turn doing that while he's investigating that, directly opposite, this just like, we have this sense of symmetry, right? Directly opposite that, right on that wall, he wants to check and see if there is any kind of secret passage or anything.
Like over here, Matt?
Yeah, directly opposite where we were.
Back in the hallway.
Good call.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't see anything that stands out. Everything seems normal.
All right, guys, we got to go quick. So maybe we should keep on looking.
Quick question,
Wanna
John.
see if
That
there-
long diagonal hallway, did it have mirrors?
I don't believe so. Actually, I'll double check.
Interesting.
Oh, it does. I'm so sorry. Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
So there is one. Actually, God, I'm being a moron. Important detail. Avaricios, exactly where you looked, there is a mirror.
Aha.
I knew there was something. I
Yes,
knew it.
it's oh, now I see it.
I'm looking like this.
Okay.
I'm like,
There's
oh,
there's a mirror, and it's faced in towards that room. And then 20 feet away on either side of that mirror, on the opposite wall, so on the southeastern wall, there are also side mirrors.
Yeah, one of them we've actually got marked on here already. I didn't realize it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You got
Okay.
it. That looks good.
So that swivel,
That's one that moves, right?
that swivel one, you can bounce light down that hallway.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Okay. Should we just go south and go down to the next diagonal?
Before we do,
Yeah.
do we want to poke the yellow marble circle on the floor?
It
You
is the
should
one
look at
thing
the
that
one on the
stands
wall.
out. It's the one thing
Well, I'll
that's
tell you
very
what.
odd.
While you're looking at mirrors and Mike's looking at globes, I'll look at the floor marble. Me and Mort will get down and we'll kind of feel the edges, see if it moves or rotates or taps hollow or anything like that.
Okay, so you can see that it was definitely something that was inset, right? It is a wholly different stone than around it. It is a yellow marble, and it is not the painted yellow that you saw in those quarters that abutted the pyramid room, right? The stone itself is tinted yellow. You can't help but draw like a connection between that yellow slab of yellow marble and the non-rayed disc that's painted on the fresco above it, right? But it doesn't manipulate. It doesn't move at all.
Wonder what happens if you actually bring sunlight into this room. Like whether that disc does something.
It's
Only
an
we had a
embedded UFO,
mage.
baby.
What's that, David?
Said it's an embedded UFO, right? The
Right. Or at like,
energy panels and
when it's exposed to sunlight, you're all transported into the starry void or something crazy. But
I mean, I suspect there are inscriptions on symmetrical chambers. That
Yeah,
would
that's
be
what I'm
side of this, so we could run through and look at them if we wanted. Might give us more info.
You know what? One thing we can do really quickly because it just takes a couple of seconds.
Mm.
It's. I think it's stupid. But other issues is like, oh, you know what? This is definitely how this works. All of us let's get around the circle like they do, and let's just hold our arms up like this. And see what
Why not? I'm in. Here we
Yeah.
are.
Mike,
Anything?
put your hands up.
Mike, come on.
It's
Come
like,
on, man.
whatever. Dwarf is not into it.
Dwarves are
Foolish
definitely
humans.
not into it. Jeez.
Nothing seems to happen. Did
That's
someone
the
did someone
magic.
write down or
Oh.
record the mythic inscription?
I did. I put it down in our notes.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
got it.
No reason. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, I
Wow, that's a hint and a half for your ass right there.
Let the faithful acknowledge the darkness and invoke the light of truth.
Okay,
Oh.
so here's the deal. If you guys
Wait a
want to, if you guys are surmising that there are like chambers on the other directions, that if you wanted to run through them quickly,
oh, this is a good point. Shit.
there would, if you look, you're running at about 60 feet per turn, so it would take you one turn to get to each juncture point where you think there is a room. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
I'm giving you a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but
Yeah.
that's about right. So just remember that the clock ticks.
Okay, so just real quick because of this inscription, because I watched Ted have a comical
epiphany?
exclamation point go over his head, and I thought the same. Maybe we'll read the other ones first, but it may be that there's some sort of luminescence if we stow all light and just accept the dark. Some hint or indication of not like I don't know, something glowing.
Well, and I'm also wondering, what is a cursed dark torch thing doing down here?
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
Like,
interesting.
I don't
Okay,
know.
well, let me do this. While we're still here, let me walk ahead. You guys stay behind here in the dark and see if it does.
All right.
Okay, so Avaricios goes back down the southwestern corridor. Darkness descends into the room.
And then I hold my hands up.
Nothing happens, unfortunately, but you do feel extremely uneasy because you were in pitch blackness. There's a
Right.
yeah.
I also feel
More
very
like
uneasy
you.
as I'm all alone.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah,
is too
right.
is like if you're outside of the black light radius, you are affected by its effect just as much. Like so,
Yeah.
like you would not see any remnant of Avaricios's light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes 20 feet away and it's gone.
You're just gone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, he should come back and get us, and we'll go to the south and then start heading back on that southeastern corridor.
Okay,
Just go
cool.
like counterclockwise.
That is such a cool spell. Was Blacklight like a classic
I
spell?
don't remember that.
Because it's
No, I don't
that's a
remember that
cool illusionist spell. Let me tell you. All right, it just has like all sorts of like ramifications that you can kind of think. Anyways, and by the way, speaking of weird shit that Avaricios has, the bird,
Yeah, what's he doing?
continues to peck
on,
at
baby.
you the entire time. Oh, what it probably did actually when you entered the room is it sort of it probably went to that yellow circle and kind of planted itself. And you might have actually have to give it a little bit of an effort, Avaricios, to kind of get it out of the circle. So you guys would kind of see Avaricios sort of like kicking it a little bit, or making these moments, and you're like, "What are you talking? What are you doing?" But it would just sort of stand there and look at that fresco, and it'll kind of look back at you, then look at the fresco again. And then
Listen, Ibi, we're trying. We're not, as smart as some people. We're doing our best.
It happily, seemingly, follows you down to the next corridor. So as you take a turn.
Okay.
So you meet that intersection once again. You can see the stream of light coming down from the well of light to your left as you move that way, and then down the corridor. It does indeed form a matching chamber, so you can draw that in.
Okay.
John, are the mirrors mirroring their alignment in the north as well?
They are indeed, yes. So the exact alignment of the mirrors are there as well.
Okay.
Does the positionally same one swivel?
Oh yes, correct. Yeah. All right. So in this chamber, there are two stone benches. They of course face the northeastern wall this time, and there is the yellow marble circle right directly in front of the center of the northeastern wall. The northeastern wall is completely black, much darker than the already dark background that was depicted in the previous room, right? But this one is like black, painted black. It's save for a yellow orb with no rays. There's no people, no nothing. So it's just a plain yellow orb on blackness. Across the top of the image, in Mithric, the light must be guarded against the impious.
I think, guys, this is kind of like a weird Stations of the Cross kind of thing.
That's exactly.
There's going to be like one room in each of these diagonals. The faithful would go and visit them in a particular order.
I think we're in the wrong order. I think we're going backwards.
This is the darkness, I think, that you acknowledge before you go up there.
Well, or this is the first showing of the light of the faithful because the orb is there, but the faithful are not there yet. So maybe in the next one down, it'll just be a black wall. And then maybe in the one that's in the northeast, it'll have like the rejoicing and the light and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
You want to keep circling around, or you want to backtrack?
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we should keep circling around.
Okay, so you get to that intersection there. The same ceiling type of mirror is right
The
there
round
at
one
that
or the
juncture.
purple one?
The round one that's attached to the ceiling rather than on the walls.
Oops.
Right, that matches what you've seen at the other two juncture points. Okay.
Wait.
Beautiful.
Because
That's
the first juncture point, there's a swivel one.
Well, it's the same type of mirror at both juncture points, at the west and the north, and they're attached to the ceiling, and they're convex.
They all swivel.
So now
Is that
here,
right?
yeah. So the
Okay.
So the passageway goes off to the northeast. However, the hallway goes down to the south at least 20 feet. All right. 10 feet down from where you're standing at the ceiling mirror, there are two facing mirrors right on the lines. Okay. And then, interestingly enough, different than its counterpart in the north, there is a small 5-foot wide corridor that branches directly east. Right north of the mirrors.
Also, really close, closer
Like
than the
really
one-
close, yeah. So there's like a small corridor that branches to the east, and then like the main corridor keeps going to the northeast, like how you expected.
Does it look purposeful or like a hole in the wall?
No, it's not. It's definitely purposeful. It just seems to be a narrow stone corridor, but there's no doors.
there?
Yep, exactly. There's no doors. There's
Okay.
no adornment. It's actually like right attached to the northern part of that square, Ted. If you want to be really precise, like it's not in the middle.
Actually, here.
Yep, you got it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's bereft of adornment, but it does seem to be purposeful and not hidden. And it goes down at least 20 feet into
It's
darkness.
gonna be like an employee like access point or something.
The
I
janitor
wonder if maybe
closet.
that's going to be the way to control the weird rooms down there, right?
This is where I would hide a mirror. I want to go down it.
You don't want to finish our little circle first?
No, because then we end up close to baboons.
So which
And we're
way?
right here. There's a little 5-foot corridor.
So you can
Yeah.
go,
Sweetie
you
wants to go in there.
go east,
Sweetie,
northeast, or
I'll
south.
go with you.
He's like, oh yeah, I want to get some of that.
I'll go with you.
Going
5-foot
down.
corridors? I'm made for it, baby.
Okay, by the time you reach the end of this 30-foot long corridor, and you find yourself in front of a door. Okay,
Oh, you say?
another turn goes by. So there's a door right at the end of the corridor. However, right there as well, it goes, it branches to the north, still 5 feet wide, and then branches immediately to the east for another 10 feet.
Wait.
Is the door to the south?
The door is directly to the east. Ted got that right.
Oh, that it makes it zigzag.
Yep, it zigzags to the north.
Oh, okay.
You got it,
Okay.
Ted. And then
Does
immediately
it go 10 feet up? Or
5 feet up, and then immediately zags to the east.
this tool it really wants to lock to the grid and does not want to cooperate.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks around a corner there and can use right there.
Like that?
Right there it ends, and then there's another door right there to the east. So there are two sort of.
Lord, man, what kind of architect did they hire? This is insane. Okay. Mort and Squeegee will each take a door for the listening. Mort will take the north door, and Squeegee will take the south door. And Mort will roll a 4. Mort gets a 4, and Squeegee gets a 3. So these are obviously both very safe doors.
It appears that way.
They don't hear nothing. There's therefore nothing to hear.
Let's see.
Do they look the same as all the other doors that we've seen, or do they?
They're much smaller than the other doors. It's
Reinforced
still large
in-
enough for a human, but it just seems to be sort of like what Goran was surmising, that perhaps it was a servant's.
Uh-huh.
It gives that sort of vibe. Rudimentary.
Is there anything, claw marks on the door or blood stains on the floor or anything that would lure us away from a door?
There is the evidence that baboons have been through here,
Aha.
but nothing that like violence has happened or anything like that. But there is the overall smell of baboon urine and hair.
I mean, but that's been constant, right?
Pretty much constant, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, unless I say otherwise, like baboon stuff is everywhere.
Okay. What do you guys think?
Those guys are terrible, is what I think. I think they could use a little bit of hygiene.
Seriously.
I say we take the south door.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Is it locked, John?
No, it
Barricaded?
is open actually. Oh, and to be
it's
clear, Ted, the northern door, the one that's further to the east, it only extends into that square 5 feet. It doesn't go the entire way over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
fix that.
So the entire length of that northern part is actually only 10 feet long.
Just a little zigzag.
Do. Not a problem. Not a problem. We'll just
Yep. So
do that.
who pries open the door?
Squeegee's wants to get in there. Squeegee's hot for the treasure.
All right.
He wants the loots.
Like I'm like 5 feet behind him, dude, and I get down on one knee with my shield up in front of me like that.
Okay, just in case, right? All right.
Step up to the side in that northern hallway.
Squeegee,
What needs a new pair of shoes?
with Goran breathing over your shoulder, you open the door carefully. You find yourself entering into a chamber that is 20 feet west to east, 30 feet north to south. You are entering directly in from the northwestern side. There is a door in the southern wall on the western side of it, and there is another door on the
in the southern wall on the western side. Oop, stupid dial here. Like so.
correct. Yep. And there is another door that is 10 feet down, but straddling the 10-foot line on the eastern wall.
What is going on here?
That's the basic dimensions. Now,
there you go.
There, you can tell that this is the lair of something, because there is a straw pallet which has been pushed up against the western wall, which you can see directly to your right as you enter the room. Okay, looks pretty soiled, nasty. There is a large wooden chest which lies against the southern wall. And you can see that the pallet is, so it's not like a pile of straw, it's like a pallet that's filled with straw, and you can see that there is something that's sort of pushing it up, like there's a little mound, like it's resting on something that's underneath it. Yeah.
Obviously, a pee.
Yeah. It smells horrible. It smells like body odor and piss. And you can see that the pallet itself is quite large, much larger than like a normal baboon.
This is going to be one either Cisco or Trusco.
Yeah,
Would they be able to squeeze down this 5-foot corridor, John?
No. It looks likely that they could definitely fit through either door that you notice, the one to the south or the one to the east, but
okay.
It would be tough unless they have like cat-like bones to fit through the door that you came in. In fact, it was pretty tight for you guys as well.
I say we pillage this room fast and get out of here.
Yeah.
What's under the straw? Mort's poking at that with a 10-foot pole.
Sure. So, when you poke at, so for the other thing that you notice when you're in the room is that there is, you smell slightly. You can't really determine the direction. Definitely wasn't the direction that you came from, but there's a smell of something cooking, something like burned, singed, cooking meat. Sort of like it's like makes your mouth water because it's fresh and you haven't had fresh food for a while, but it also is like a little bit like not quite right?
Does it smell like naked dude?
You can kind of smell that a little bit. At the same time, Squeegee pokes a straw mallet, and you hit something hard, like a tunk, tunk, tunk.
Yes. Come to me.
Lifting up the pallet.
Yeah, we'll scrape the straw side.
Sorry, protective measure. Can I be positioned at one of the doors that are big enough to admit giant four-armed monkey dude and be listening while you guys are searching, and then maybe someone else can go to the other door and listen for monkey dude to approach?
You want to do the south or the eastern door, Gorand?
I'll do the east.
Eastern.
We could spike the doors.
That'll make noise, and then they'll definitely know that someone's here.
Yeah.
You know?
Can we quietly push one in like a wedge? You
Okay.
know, like those little door stoppers.
So,
Like
Goran,
putting pennies in the door of your dorm house.
when you step up to the eastern door, you can definitely determine that the smell is stronger from this door. In addition, you can see that underneath the seam of the door, there is the slight flickering of light.
Okay, let's not go that way.
I kind of go very quietly, like, not snapping too loud, but I'm just like, and point to the light under the door, just try and get their attention.
All right. Well,
is the door open in or out, John?
It would open in.
Okay.
So we could spike it.
What did I say was the default? It's always the default. I made that ruling. I can't remember whatever.
I'm pretty sure whatever would be best for us.
I think I actually did say that, Matt. Actually, it was like whatever you want it to be. It can be that way.
I want it to be so we can spike the door if we have to.
That's fine. Yeah, I think unless like the description actually tells me that a door for a purpose opens a different way, then you can make it whatever way you want it.
Sure, but what's the door construction of? Because everything else in here is rotted to hell. So is it literally just some planks like dangling on a
No.
rope
This is a solid door. Like you most of the doors you've seen are solid. Only the one that was like ajar was like ripped off its hinges. Everything else has been super solid. To be clear, like this room, the room isn't trashed, right? It's just like the stuff in it, right? Mostly just this straw pallet. It looks like something like basically sleeps here and it's not taking care of it, right? There's a wooden chest and a straw pallet. Squeegee pokes open the pallet. What you see that is hard underneath are two large books.
Oh. 2 large books, not a mirror.
No.
I will pick them up and give them a quick glance, but then put them in Mort's backpack.
Okay.
We should check out that chest too very quickly.
So you can see that one is actually a recipe book, and it has a whole bunch of exotic recipes. Some of them are mushroom and lizard goulash, puree of mushroom and turnip, goat and mushroom in a light cream sauce, heavily mushroom based. It looks like the recipes themselves actually look like legit, and that they would actually make decent dishes.
You know who likes mushrooms? Halflings like mushrooms.
Exactly what I thought.
You think it would probably be worth some money in the right hands. The other book,
Yeah.
is filled, Squeegee, when you open it up with words and diagrams that make your head spin and reel, for you cannot comprehend the ineffable mysteries held within.
Also, it's garbage. It's garbage.
Can I, with like a patronizing pat on his shoulder, kind of look over and say, "What you got there, buddy?"
Something
Anwir,
valuable, methinks.
Anwir, as you take a gander, you can definitely see that this is definitely not only a spell book, but to your delight, is most likely, if you just had the right spell memorized, but you're fairly sure that it is jam-packed with only illusionist spells.
Oh, listen, Squeezy, don't addle your mind like reading this demon speak. Listen, my friend, it is
that shit.
If there's
that
anything
shit
that's
never
proven
once
in the history of our people, it's that literacy is the path to damnation. Give this to me.
That's right.
It's like,
Let's use the book to block the door. We can just open it and wedge it in.
That's all it's good for.
Pages will stop.
Yeah.
That shit never once happened to me in Dolmenwood. Not once.
You're so salty.
Not
so
once.
salty. It's funny.
Tell you what,
Each book takes a slot. Whoever takes that.
Yeah. Do you want to carry this book, Mr. Anwir?
I can carry it.
Yeah, please. Don't burden my friend Mort here with your damnation literacy. You'll take it.
Both of them
Yours.
are actually they actually look relatively similar, which makes you think that perhaps they may have been constructed or owned by the same person, which is kind of strange because the details are much different. They're both sort of folio in the manner in which they're constructed, so they're like hard front and back that's been kind of sewn along the binding, right? And then there's like loose leaf sheets that have been sort of wedged into them that have been loosely kind of sewn with the binding.
Yeah.
So the recipe book is rather thin. The spell book is thick, like it's a THICC boy, right? It's like a big guy. The cover is actually like this strange, the way that they sort of dyed the canvas gives this very sort of psychedelic, kaleidoscopic sort of coloration that has been washed out significantly by age. So it almost looks like an aging hippie's tie-dye shirt, right? Like what gone through too many washes. You know what I mean?
The only entity that loves mushrooms more than halflings are illusionists. All right, man, you got to see the other world.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
You got to see the machine elves.
You understand, man. All right.
Listen, buddy.
All right.
So there's also
that chest is probably trapped now.
There's also the chest. Yes, it's a looks to be quite old, sturdy, wooden with metal hasps.
I have to open my door real quick, but I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay.
The cleric is not otherwise engaged with looting. Perhaps he should check out the chest.
This is true. There's one other thought I had. If he comes in and his lumpy mattress is not still lumpy, he's going to immediately know that there are guys down here stealing his shit. So
He's gonna know that anyway, but maybe he'll just assume it's someone in his camp.
well, is there anything in this room that we can do the Indiana Jones
Yeah, it's a good idea.
put under to create a fake lump?
Or piece of wood or something.
Not in the room. The mat, the pallet itself is moldable enough that you could probably simulate that. You know what I mean? Like you could bunch it up.
Just to give a little bit of visually, it would still look like it.
You can do that, sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I would like. While they're doing that, I would very much like to check out that chest.
Okay. So Right. So so it does it's shut. There is not like a huge lock attached to it.
Does he's obviously suspicious looking at this. Does there seem to be any mechanism or like little buttons or wires?
There is no. It looks pretty standard. It's quite large, but it has like it has a clasp which is hooked over an eye hole, right, like where a lock would be put. But the lock is gone.
Okay.
You think baboons can set traps?
I don't know. Maybe they stole
These
this.
guys seem fairly intelligent, but I'm not worried about him creating a trap. If this is an old, well-built chest, it might come with, previous software that he just has to set up.
Is there an instruction book nearby, John? We just look.
I have a great solution. Everyone, Yonwin, would you mind checking out that chest real quick? Hey, everyone else, while Yonwin's doing that, I really need help organizing this bag over in the hallway. Would you mind?
Your solution is have Yonwin do it. Yeah. So it does. It does not appear to be dangerous at first glance, so I would not be opposed to having, like, Yonwin would be probably okay with it.
All right. Yeah. I'm fine with this. I mean, he needs experience. This is kind of training on the job.
Or you can just flip it open, Everisios. You're right there. It's up to you.
Do it, Everisios.
Please
do it. Yes.
YOLO! I can't use my right. I'm going to use the torch to lift the latch. Step to the side.
Fireball.
Okay.
Step to the side and open it up.
And it opens up, flips back on some leather straps, and opens up. Unfortunately, it's not like Pulp Fiction where the glow of gold and awesomeness sort of radiates out. But there is some interesting stuff inside. There are 3 different sizes of chef's toques. You know what toques are, like the chef's hat? Yeah.
The chef's hats.
Yep. There's 3 different sizes of them. One is human, one is a little bit larger, and one is really, really big. Like really big. There is an old apron, which you can't determine it's an apron until you actually kind of wring it out. It's grimy and gray with age and soiled grease. There are wads of other soiled linens that are kind of stink, all kind of stink of baboon. However, underneath those linens at the bottom of the chest, there is what can only be described, I would say, as sort of like a Ginsu carving knife. Like a really nice looking kitchen tool, but wickedly sharp. So sharp you would almost say it's not natural.
Oh.
Well, I have kind of an aversion to using these.
I don't.
Bladed things. So it's just garbage. Yeah, there's nothing good in here.
Close it. Move on.
Can I look for a false bottom?
Give the knife to the dwarf, man.
Certainly.
Is it a large knife, John? Is it like equivalent to like a short sword? Or is it like a dagger?
It's like a dagger. It's like a dagger. But, in my rules, it's all part and parcel.
Right.
At least as far as damage goes. By the way, so flipping over the room took a turn. If you want to search for a false bottom, that's going to take another turn, Anwir.
It's fine by me. Before I do so, I want to see if the chest is mobile or if it's affixed to the ground.
It is mobile. Takes
shove the chest.
Takes a little bit of effort. It would definitely be like a 3-load item to take the entire chest with you, and it would have to be either physically strapped to your body or it would take both of your hands.
Oh my god! Don't tempt me. I just want to torture Yonwin so much.
They'd be like Patsy.
You know that
Python,
figurine?
Right?
With yes, exactly.
Back, yeah.
Not even real.
Coconuts. I still feel for a false bottom after doing that, but I wanted to check that first.
Sure. Okay. So you do not find a false bottom after a turn. You have blessedly been left in silence for most of your journey back from that horrible room.
I'm sure this is gonna.
How long can your luck hold?
I don't think that they're coming down this direction, though. I think that they have their own little.
There's evidence they're all over the place.
That's true. Fair.
John, can I just to be efficient while he's doing that? Can I spend that same turn listening at that southern door? Because I don't think we listen.
Sweet.
Might listen to the western one, but we haven't listened.
Suggest that. Yep.
All right. So, yep, you can roll if you like.
I like that very much because I'm gonna fail it. Roll a 3.
Hey, John, I just have a sort of a procedural question. So like you've described before that, like if we say, "Oh, I specifically am looking for," a switch under the edge of the table for the secret door, and if we say something like that, you'll be like, "That's where the secret door is." Okay.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
Similarly,
Mhm.
but not exactly the same. If there's a guy on the other side of the door having a loud conversation and we're listening at the door, is that really a dice roll?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I do for listening. It's basically like if there is a readily noticeable sound on the other side of the door, I'm just going to tell you right away. As long as you
Right.
tell me you listen, right?
Right.
It would have to be really loud for me to just broadcast it as part of the general room description.
Fair.
If there is something that's producing sound that is very far away, I would say probably like torchlight distance. Like if it's 30 feet away or more that's producing sound, you could detect it by rolling a correct listen
Dice
check.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically how I would kind of do it in my head. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I expected you to say. I just wanted to clarify. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like it's always
And,
worth a roll just to see if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure. Last question. While I'm at this door, does there seem to be light under this one the same way that there was light?
No,
under
there is
the-
no light actually. Yeah. So there's no light and there's no significant difference in the smell. So Gorand at his eastern door is definitely like the source of the smell, and there's something.
Right.
Don't know if there's someone in there, but there's maintained light in that room.
Goran is the source of many spells.
Let's go.
Before we open the door. Sorry, Ted,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying I like going south, but go ahead, David.
Just because I've been looking at, I'm assuming we kept all the chef hats, right? And no one tried to put one on. Not a one of us tried to put a chef hat on.
Now that you mention it, no, didn't even occur to me.
Of 3 different sizes from an illusionist. No one put a hat on. Well, I'm gonna take the big hat and I'm gonna put it on. I know that.
Okay, so the big hat is like ridiculous on you. Like it literally just it like sheathes your entire head like a mushroom cap, right? Like it just goes
All right.
like all the way down onto your.
Do any Alice in Wonderland things happen?
No, nothing happens. No,
But
they
can we
smell and they're
please-
also sort of gray, like the apron is. Like they're not washed. You know what
If
Can
I
we-
put the apron on, does anything happen?
I mean? No, you look faintly ridiculous,
Can
but
we
you do look of a
please-
piece with the toque and the apron.
Yeah, can it just please, can we make it so that hat doesn't come off? I you know, whatever it takes.
That's my
Like
curse
I
item.
rub my torch on the hat just to get a little extra.
I mean,
curse
look,
on there.
as a fan of all Dark Souls games, this is perfect for me. All right, let's poke a couple little eye holes. The other thing I'm going to do, which is going to seem a bit strange, but accounting for all the oddities of this room, I'm going to wait for a second in silence and say, "I know you're in here." And listen,
Nothing. You don't
show
hear.
yourself. I know you're in here.
You hear nothing.
We're not going to hurt you.
Nope, you don't hear anything.
All right.
So you see,
Here we go.
so Goran and Squeegee and Yonwin and Mort, you all see like Avaricio sort of kind of jumping away every once in a while and leaning down, and Anwir is just like whispering to things that aren't there. It's just
Oh yeah, that reminds me. of
Squeegee
too
how-
much,
will,
man.
Squeegee will reach over to Goran and kind of tug on his sleeve and be like, "Has Daddy lost his mind?"
Yeah, Yonwin's definitely giving Anwir a little bit of a side eye, like I hooked up with the wrong guy.
Squeegee's hopping back and forth. He's antsy. He wants to go south.
Let's do it.
Okay,
And Bird's not doing anything weird.
Wait, can I just
Bird is
say,
not doing anything weird,
We're
no.
going, are we going south from this room, or are you talking about going south from the main corridor? That
I think we
came
go
through?
south from this room. I want to go down.
Let's do it.
okay. You open the door. You find yourself in a passageway that leads east to west. However, you are at the far eastern end of it because directly in front of you is another door, and directly to your left there is another door. So there's a door to the south and a door to the east directly where you are. The passageway extends to the west for at least
A
20 feet.
door south of. Oh, geez, I'm having some troubles with the tools here. Okay, a door immediately across from us to the south,
Mhm.
and to the east. You said.
And to the east, correct. And the passageway continues into darkness at least 20 feet to the west.
Like so.
You got it, Ted. Perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna guess it's gonna connect back up with that corridor, and if we go east, we're gonna enter the kitchen. What do you guys think?
Can we listen at the door to the east, please? How about I listen at the door to the east, you guys listen at the door to the south?
Yes.
Also, I would like to, while they're listening, I'm gonna just go down 20 feet just to see if we have a way out of here if we need to.
Okay.
Okay.
So Mort rolled a 3, and Squeegee rolled a 6. So once again, they've discovered the world's most perfectly safe door.
Okay. So
I
first of
roll
all,
a 1. Wait, I roll a 1 for the 1.
you're looking at the east.
He is.
Okay. So, Goran,
Look east on the third day.
you first of all, you do notice that there is a faint light flicking from underneath the door, fainter than what you saw at the other door in the past room. Okay. In addition, you can hear slight crackling, like like flame merrily dancing, sort of.
There's a kitchen.
Okay. But you do not. It doesn't smell like food here, right?
Okay.
So crackling, just like a fire crackling.
Yeah, like a low burning fire, right? Just like a nice
But
peaceful
no
little.
voices, no farts.
No,
No voices, no farts, no
you
dropping.
don't. No, you don't hear any signs of habitation. To the south, who was listening there?
Mort and Squeegee, but they rolled a 3 and a 6.
Okay, yeah. So, they don't hear anything. Let me just see if you see anything. Give me one moment.
Okay.
You also see that there's flickering light below that door. Avaricios, as you march down the corridor, you can see that it ends after 30 feet at another door, another wooden door.
Oh. Oops, wrong tool.
So if that main kind of north-south hallway extended down, it might connect it.
Possibly. Avaricios, your thoughts actually definitely tend towards that direction when you hear audibly coming from beyond that door. To the right, you can hear a couple of voices, one very, very deep and one sort of whispery but carrying even through the door. I told you that they wouldn't know. All of this is worthless. Going back to my chambers. Make sure that it's guarded. I'll have words with the other prisoners soon. Oh, all right.
Everyone
Yes,
against
master.
the wall. Everyone against the wall right now. Get out of the causeway. I'm about to cast an illusion if they walk in this room.
You have
All
three
right,
doors to go through, if you like, that are not in that direction.
I think we let them pass by, and I make the room look empty, and we let them.
I don't
Or
think
we
there's
stab them right as they go. Right.
Well, you're in a narrow. You're not in a room, right? Anwir, you're like in a corridor. So
So I'm saying everyone get flush like this.
I
That makes sense. If it's possible, it's 10 feet wide, right?
it's 10 feet wide. Yeah, it's not narrow. Yeah.
Let's do this, and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna make it look empty, and I want to see these people up close.
They're not
Come on,
coming
do
in.
it.
Didn't you say you heard the voices walk past the
If
door?
they come in, they're approaching, not walking.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so I'm basically like at the ready. I'm saying everyone get flush, because if we start scurrying off, they might hear us anyway. I'm gonna cast it if it sounds like they're coming through the door.
I think they will smell the dwarf, but
Nah, you know,
I love it.
it'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
I'm excited. I just want to see Anwir cast a spell. That's what I'm
No.
This is a
There's
momentous
no cast
occasion,
spell.
everyone. Episode 14, Anwir casts a spell. That's literally
Well,
what I'm.
Anwir's he's not been with us for 14 episodes.
No, true, but it's been
All
a
I'm saying,
minute.
as a side note, I'm sure it'll be catastrophic, but if it's just the leader by himself, we need to tackle him.
Okay, Anwir,
Yeah, let's go.
David, you're in charge right now as to describe this, what the rules of Phantasmal Force are, so get that shit
Oh,
up
yes,
and ready.
let me look it up, because I haven't had to cast a spell in like 2 months.
I'm gonna also verify, just so I think.
Hey, while you guys are looking stuff up, can we take a quick little Goblins room break?
Let's do it.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back. Anwir's about to cast Phantasmal Force if what they heard on the other side of the doors to the west actually comes through. So what is your plan for the use of this spell?
So, because if it's interacted with, it is dispelled, what I'm going to do is, in the 20-foot cubed area where we're against the wall, I'm going to shrink the wall inward from a 10-foot wide wall to an 8-foot wide wall. So there appears to be a section of wall right in front of us. And as best as I can, I'm going to make it really a gradual gradient so it's not very noticeable to them. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, all right. So, you guys all follow Anwir's orders and sort of pressure. What are you guys pressing up against the northern wall?
I think we're on either side if we could be, because then we can do that.
Oh, that would make it even more narrow. He definitely.
Yeah,
We should all be on the same side.
side, don't we?
Well, then it could be a 9-foot wall then, and just one side. I was trying to keep it symmetrical, so in my mind, I don't know why the symmetry would make sense, but yeah, we could just do one side,
Sure.
and then it would just
So
it would be 9 feet. Yeah, let's do it.
So if you're on the northern wall, where are you on the northern wall? Are you like on the eastern end where all the exits are?
We need to all
right in the
be
center.
roughly next to each other for the area effect of the spell, though.
Give me a pointer thing and point at the point on the map where you guys are all huddled. You can all be in the same square.
Why don't we be along the northern wall?
Right there.
Wrong
Okay.
tool.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, right there. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
No problem at all. All right. So
and swords out,
Ready.
shields up.
Ready to pounce.
okay. So Anwir, are you preventively casting the spell? Are you assuming that they're coming through this door? Because it's very highly likely, should they come through the door, that they will notice a change if you cast it like as a trigger reaction.
I'm going to do it now. I'm going to preventively do it.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
I'm casting it.
Anwir casts his single spell of the day. So once again, you've seen Anwir study, you've seen Anwir talk, you've seen him theorize, but you have yet to see him actually execute. As you place yourself against the wall, and the mist form around, and the wall itself appears to be directly in front of you. There is a sort of juts out a little bit more than it normally does, but very, very slightly, and you guys are all pressed up against it, like just silent, waiting. The door does indeed open to the west. Coming in first and looking around the corridor, ducking its head, is Tresco. Just you can see now that you're up close and it's kind of stomping forward. It's got to keep its head low. The bottom set of arms are actually, because he's bent over, actually like dragging knuckles, like literally knuckle dragging on the floor, right? As the other ones, as he's sort of like kind of moving down the hallway, it's going to be tight because he's like super broad. You know, he's not 10 feet wide.
Yeah. I'm nervous,
but he's a big dude. Yeah, like if he steps to the side, either way, he's going to hit, right? But he's kind of marching through. You can see sort of like acting as a bodyguard, right? Kind of sniffing around. But now you get a good look at him. You can tell that Tresco, just based on the he's albino as well, but you can kind of tell that there's some I don't know how albino, it probably doesn't work this way, but I'm just going to give it to you. You can tell that he's like an aging ape, right? A little bit older, still incredibly powerful. Matt, yeah.
Can we see this? Can't we just see a wall?
Nah, it's all right. I'm just going to give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you give him that, Matt?
I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to be that mean. Following behind him is none other than, yes, indeed, that gray armored man. All right. He has the beechwood staff sort of put through a loop in his belt. And he looks very, very sort of put out as he sort of follows behind. And he says, they stop like right where you guys are, like right there, right in front of you. And you're getting a good look. Like basically what I described to him in the hallway is basically what he looks like, right? Like there's not much more to it than that. But like really up close, he stops Tresco by putting a hand on his shoulder, and he says, he goes, "Tresco, my friend," says, "turn around here. I'm going back to my chambers. Make sure that you go south to the library and retrieve Isocritus. I desire words with him." And Tresco just goes, blows, like you can smell like the rancid, breath, as he sort of turns around, goes back down the corridor and heads down to the south. The man continues onwards.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Yep.
Tresco has closed the door, and this is a moment we could grab him.
He's what?
We could also follow him to his chambers and grab him there, David.
We could also do that. I'm just saying, now's the time to announce if we don't want to do it in the chambers, because we could just like try to grapple him and close his mouth or something like that.
Well,
I'm surprised. He might lock the door. In other words, like there are things I don't want to like make this too.
Right
long,
now they're both still in the corridor. They just switched places. Tresco's heading back west.
Oh, so they're just.
And the man is continuing east.
God.
But they're standing right in front of you. They just swap positions. So let me know if you want to do that.
I'm gonna wait for now.
Okay, so Tresco is gonna move, and he stomps back towards the door that he just came in, and he's gonna close that door behind him.
Once he does that, is the man through the other door?
There's 3 doors that you can see where that man's going to. You want to see where he's going, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that man is going. He looks around at the end of the corridor, and he sort of looks, and he roll dice, peers carefully, looks right at the spot where you guys are, narrows his eyes, and then turns back to the door and enters through the southern door.
I'm real
No.
predator, real predator with my mud. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
got my arms up in the tree branches right now.
Totally. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm
gonna have me some fun.
Are you gonna So now he's gonna close the door. If you want to do something sneaky or something like that, the door can still be open for a split second.
I would like it to still be. We need to pursue before he locks the door, y'all.
Yes.
And he summons someone else, but the other guy could be a
Fine.
badass.
YOLO.
Yeah.
I think we are all going to die here.
I love
I
it.
think we are
Let's do it,
100%
baby.
going to die here.
Let's do it.
And if we do, I'm
You can
okay
blame
with
me.
that.
You can
I'm
blame me.
okay with it. Let's go. No blame, David. Do what you gotta do.
Look, it's a squishy mage against like 6 of us, right?
Oh yeah, he's super squishy. I'm sure he's super squishy.
Fine. He
I've been,
controls giant baboons.
Maybe
He's
for the
He only
fifth
has
time.
like a Hellraiser staff.
It's got to be the fourth or fifth time. I'm just going to mention the exquisite
Yeah.
leather armor he was wearing.
Oh yeah.
No,
He's not a mage.
Oh, that's true.
He's-
Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
got a giant bladed club.
Yeah. True.
All right, get him, Ray.
Let's go.
What are you doing?
Okay, so can you
David?
clarify, John?
No, there's no clarify. David, if you're taking an action, take it. We'll follow your cue. If you're not
Yeah.
taking it, no one else wants to do this. You're the one who's coming. Do it or don't.
I'll take an action. The only thing I just want to clarify John's words there. We have a moment while the door's open because we don't know if it's going to lock or not. Right. So you're saying this is the chance to. Yeah. Then we got to move. Go.
So what are you
I
doing?
go.
Say what you're doing.
I dispelled the thing right as he opens it and presumably has gone through the threshold, so he's not looking right at us.
Yeah, he's heading in with his
I'm-
back to you.
I'm rushing to the door.
Okay, and what are you planning to attack him, or are you planning to just kind of get a foot in the door so it doesn't lock? That's what I'm sort of wondering what's going on. Like, how are you preventing the door from locking?
Oh, I would love to go. Well, thank you for giving me that.
I wasn't trying to. I seriously wanted.
Was-
I just wanted to
I'm
know,
like,
like,
yeah,
are
I'm
you going to let the door lock? And if not, what are you doing?
No, I'm trying to prevent it from locking, so I would put a foot in the door. Just try to stop it with just a sliver, right?
Okay.
And I'll do it.
All right. So, roll me a d6, Anwir.
So we're assuming that the door opens into the room he's going, and it's closing behind him. He's in the room now. Door's closing. David runs up and tries to
That's
stop
a
the door.
6.
Okay.
Not 100% visible to the man,
Well, he is. I mean, the moment he moves, the illusion goes away.
unless the man's in the room looking into the room and not behind himself.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
When my head gets blown off.
Okay. So, all right. So you run as fast as you can. You're like, fuck, he's going in the room. Run over there. You jam your foot in there. And surprisingly, the man is in a worse mood than you thought, and he's not just going to let the door close behind him. He whips the door like in anger closed, right? And as he does so, it doesn't break your ankle, but it hits your foot and doesn't make the slamming sound that he thinks it's going to make, right? Because he's mad. He wants to hear the sound, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he whips around to look at like what the heck's happening, and then at the door, and then he looks through the thing and he sees you, and his eyes go wide, and he's like,
And I go,
"Who are you?" And he immediately he reaches down to his belt and like pulls out the beechwood club.
okay. I literally charge him as if to grapple tackle him. I'm like linebackering him with my 14th strength.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
And if for some reason there's a fire behind him that's gently cracking, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to go into
Sure.
it with him.
I'm actually gonna roll for surprise for him.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm gonna let me get the dice roll up here for 1 quick second. Boom, boom, dice and 1 to 2 on this. He is
He is
surprised.
surprised?
Yeah. So sorry, I don't really roll dice on this one very often. So give me a second. Here we go.
Ooh, I'm very excited. I
Not
hope
gonna-
it's a surprise.
No, he's not surprised.
Oh,
Fuck.
he's an experienced adventurer.
He's a canny fucker. All right. So
Ooh, he's one of those, is he?
okay.
Did you give me a quick appraisal of the room? Is
Yes.
there fire behind him?
Yeah, so quickly before what we got going on here is you find yourself as you jam your foot in there and turn towards face him, that you can see that you are in a 20-foot long corridor that go 20 foot long north to south. that enters into a larger room. I'm just going to give you the dimensions now, even though you're not quite fully into it. It's a 40 foot by 20 foot, 40 foot east to west room by 20 foot north to south, and you are entering directly in from on the northern wall on the western side of it. Let's see.
I'm about to lose my second character.
So
Y'all make this worth it.
you got it. You're exactly right, Ted. So in the room itself, so it's lit by torches, okay, but it's very strange looking room, different than anything else you've seen in Arden Vul. There are old frescoes here, but they've been completely painted over with a soothing pale green base coat. And then on top of that base coat of pale green, all these botanical and animal images have actually been painted in a rudimentary fashion. There's a jungle grove complete with like exotic creatures, like exotic birds like toucans and jaguars and monkeys. There's one part that actually depicts like a savanna with baboons and various herd animals and things like that.
This guy a druid?
There is a hammock that has been slung from the ceiling of the northeast corner. Right, so in the northeast corner, basically, across that is a hammock. There is a wooden stand where there is a drawing of something upon it, and there is a small side table that holds that. On top of that table, there is actually the upper half of a marble statue of a human, so like a little bit more than a bust, right? Like it's basically like the waist up marble statue. In the south, there is a pit of some sort, which is like filled with some sort of mulch, like a deep loamy sort of soil in the south, and it's redolent with like the smell of living and dying things, right? Like organic material, like in the south. The moment you walk in, okay, but the moment you're not walking in, as you run in and jam your foot in there, and he turns around and says, "Who are you?" A piercing like a high-pitched shriek comes from that southern pit, and you see a burst of spores spray into the room, right? And he looks and he says, "Intruders, how dare you? You must have been one of the ones with its companions. Well, you'll pay for your insolence." As you bull rush him. So
ask him for directions.
But I want to clarify. I have a chef's apron on and a really oversized chef while this is happening.
Okay, so let's roll for initiative.
Oh my god,
David.
Yeah,
I got a 3.
Hold on, my owlbear is acting up.
Mike, did you put money down on this by any chance? Like, are we gonna at least have some profit out of this?
I wish. I'm on FanDuel right now trying to put a bet in.
Thank you. I'm down for 20. We're all gonna die.
Yeah,
I just
sadly the odds on that are extremely high, so the return on the bet's not going to be very good.
I have this.
I got a
image
1.
of-
Got a 1.
You got a 1. Okay.
Oh,
I have this image of my bird just like.
All right.
Didn't expect the alarm. That was interesting.
Okay. So the alarm goes off for like about 6 seconds, like a round's worth, right? And then it silences. Over top of that, the man basically he whips out his beechwood staff as you kind of bull rush into him, and he shouts out and he goes, "Tresco, to my aid! Bring Isometric!" He yells out.
Wish your spell had been silenced, David.
Yeah. Seriously.
What is your alignment, Anwir?
Chaotic?
Chaotic. Okay.
No, really?
shocker.
Can I actually ask? Actually, I'll grab my. I realized my session last week I did on my laptop, and I did not. I don't have my my brain. The amber consumable magic item that.
I have the notes here.
Extend spell. Would you tell me what the actual details of that are? I know I can replenish a slot. Extend.
If you hold the lump and concentrate, Arcanum will power a task once. It will recharge a charged magic item of 2 to 8 charges. It will enhance effects by 50%. It will allow you to recall a cast spell and recast it, or add one time +2 to any roll.
Okay.
And do you have both lumps, or did you?
I have
Take
both
them.
lumps,
You have both lumps.
but I might be a phantasmal force consuming one of these guys if we have to.
I don't know what you're
For
going to
another
use.
illusion.
The fan. Well, you'll think of something good, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is what happens. So so the shrieking ends, and as you see it, the spores sort of dissipate into the air as well. He is basically, what he does is he's going to actually retreat. So he's going to do like a fighting withdrawal backwards as he kind of scrambles backwards. You can see that he is he's got his beechwood staff in one hand, but he is, with his other hand, he is shaping the air around him as he backs towards the stand with the marble statue. At the same time, out of the mulch pit, two what you can only surmise are gigantic mushrooms actually seem to like grow upwards with these huge spotted caps, like white caps with brown spots, and like a chalk white stalk and gills underneath. And then you can see, like, right underneath the cap, two eyes open up on either one of them, as and then part of the meat of the stalk actually separates on either side to form club-like fists as two giant mushroom things step forward out of the mulch pit and take their place in front of the man. He huddles behind them and allows them to basically pummel you onward now. So he's retreating backwards. The mushroom things are moving forwards, and they are engaging with you, but they cannot attack you this round, Anwir. And this is all happening right where enclosed in that 10-foot corridor. You understand? Like, you cannot get into the broader room, but the druid retreats back into that room.
He is a
Did we
druid.
not
Good.
roll initiative?
shit.
I'm just.
We
did.
rolled and I got a 1.
Yeah.
We did bad.
So
We
that's
lost.
you lost. Yeah. Okay. Now it is your
You're
turn.
gonna-
It is your turn, guys.
I think we should broaden.
You think?
Yeah. I also
probably
think
to the north, because they're going to come through the
Yeah.
westerly door.
We run into room 14. We go out that door to the northwest. We go down the hallway and we wait until Tresco and Isocrates go into the hallway where their master's hiding. And then we book it straight for that hallway to the north.
You can use your
that we
pinpointer
put down earlier.
if you want to laser point it.
Is there any reason we don't want to go to the Oracle room just because it's through a portal and they probably won't follow us?
The Oracle room, we never figured out how to get out of.
Don't forget that
I know.
Anaximander is still sitting in the Well of Light.
Oh, shit.
You think,
shit.
judging by which way
No, he's not.
Oh no, not anymore. No.
He's toast. They
I
won't
think
fight
his
back.
body.
you forgot about the
body is
ancient man that it was like taught to
listen,
God.
Listen, speaking of ancient men, you're asking all of us to have memories that extend past 2 days.
Yes, so true.
All right.
The downside of playing with middle-aged men.
Wow, I totally forgot about that guy. He's either toast or has fled somewhere he knows is safe.
That guy. I can't believe it. He's an
I'm down
important
to run to the
NPC.
north, Ted. I was just saying because that's a portal and they didn't like to come through that room that it might be.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is, John, I'm just going to draw a line on the map. We're just going to book it.
You don't have to draw a line. Just give me a laser pointer. Like, where are you going?
Well, I want to do that.
Oh,
What do you guys-
Well-
Damn, Ted. All right.
Let's go for it. Why not, man? Let's go for it.
Now,
Let's just
hold on.
run, baby.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to weigh in.
go
I'm sure Matt
backwards.
would like to weigh in too.
Yeah.
I would say we should at least try and run through the middle room and see if the old bastard is there.
Sure.
And then I think we should run back to the Oracle room because they probably will not follow us in there. And if they do, as the monkey guy is squeezing his way through that tiny hallway, we could bust on his head, right? Like if they do decide to come in that way, it's way
Okay.
more defensible than where we are now.
Only thing I'll say, and I know we don't want to like debate for too long about this because that was my suggestion, but I will say this: if Mr. Jade Shroom Man is aware of what's there, they can just set up camp and wait for us and starve
Yeah.
us out. There's nothing. There's nowhere we can really go, which isn't something I thought about. So if they see us go in that room and they know that's where we went,
We're dead.
probably war of attrition. We're dead. So I think we get to this juncture that Ted mentioned, and if we don't see them in hot pursuit, we can make the decision there on the fly. But I think we should at least go to. Am I not pinging?
I don't see anything.
don't see a ping.
I'll just put a dot. I think we at least make it to this point right here, right by 3.
Right there. Yeah, okay.
And then make a decision based on whether they are right on our ass or not. And if they're right on our ass, maybe we go north and just go take the momentum, see where it takes us. Well, why not?
Okay.
I mean,
All right, so we're in the midst of combat. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Say your piece.
Yeah.
Just the other thing, I agree. Go through north through room 14, like the west. The only difference, instead of taking the diagonal, I think we should go through that lighted room. If that sunlight has any deterrent properties, then our guy will still be alive and he'll still be there.
Sure.
That would be useful.
Yeah, same issue. You end up trapped in the circle of light while they surround you.
I just
Or at
say
least maybe we could try and negotiate at that point.
we go north to the circle of light, then we go west, and then we go north along that corridor. Since we know, like God Himself told us that the way out is to the north.
Okay.
The advantage to
I'm
taking
fine
the
with that.
diagonal- Well, the advantage to taking the diagonal corridor is it is not lit, and we have a dark torch.
Okay.
I agree with Ted, but we're kind of split 50-50. I will say this: if we didn't save a bunch of people getting tortured, I don't know why we're suddenly caring about the ancient man who had too much pride to.
Hi.
Like
You
it's
may
not a
be-
moral decision. In other words, I'm just gonna put that.
You
out
may
there.
be chaotic, but like I'm not, so I'm not going to abandon the old guy.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You guys go do
Let's
what
do
you feel.
No, no,
I
no.
will
Okay,
run through the
I'll
main
walk you
room.
through it. I'll walk you through it. Okay, so
We're doing it.
we're in the middle of combat. It is your turn. So on where you have to disengage and move backwards.
And close that door.
I allowed the guy to do it, and I'm going to allow you to do it, even though normally those kind of declarations would have to be declared before initiative is rolled in the round. So, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt since I took it, and you're going to disengage, I assume, and beat ass, right? All right.
Beating ass north.
Okay, so you move north, and you guys are all heading towards the northern, like basically backtracking up until you actually reach the main corridor that leads north to the Well of Light. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
At which point we stop
Okay.
in case
So-
Tresco's like right out there.
You do it, and you hear the human basically. Once again, he doesn't like scream or express his rage. It's just more like his whispering voice sort of carries out over everything, and he's like, "They went north." Through Urtsko's lair. And he says, no, not cut them off at the Well of Light, quickly down the northern corridor.
We should book it then.
As you guys haven't even stopped, right? But so you go through.
Yeah.
You can hear as you guys exit through the small door to the west. I'll point it out here for folks. They are now moved up to here, and they're moving down through here.
Yes.
That you hear the door open to the south right here as someone enters through there. Okay. At the same time, you guys are moving through the corridor, and you slam that door behind you. Okay.
Yeah.
As you barrel into this corridor right here, you can see behind you, right here, you can see a massive four-armed ape, which you can only assume is also a Tresco. You probably recognize them; they would be distinguishable now, especially Tresco because you got a real close-up look. You can see that there is a slight, small human figure, robed, with modern Arcantian robes, like a very he's very like the height of fashion sort of thing, like whatever height like noble fashion would be in Arcantos right now is wearing that, but he quickly shuffles across the corridor and continues east through the door, okay, into the eastern corridor. So you just kind of get a bare glimpse of him as you're much more interested in as this four-armed ape that is pounding up the corridor after you. As you
we have
guys,
a conspirator from town here, guys. I'm gonna mental note this figure as best as I can if I survive.
you have a feeling this might be the mysterious Isocritus that they were called.
Yeah. So just to clarify, Isocritus went into the hallway to the druid's room.
Yes.
Yes.
Tresco is in the main corridor heading north.
Yeah, under the humans' orders that said cut them off at the Well of Light.
Right. So we don't actually know for sure who's right behind us. It could be the druid. It could be
Mushroom
Cisco.
guys.
Well,
Mushroom
it looks like
guys
they're coming from two
assumption.
directions. Like Tresco's coming up the main corridor that leads directly to the Well of Light, and you heard someone enter the passage, the chamber right directly behind you. Right, so the people are coming from either direction. I needed this is important. I need to, if you guys are booking it fully,
Yes.
Yes.
So that'd be 3 times your movement, which would be 180. And let me check the giant intelligent baboon. How fast are you going?
I think we should go diagonal, guys. We're not going to make it if we do a right angle.
You are not going to make it. You can tell just by the huge stride that it's making that it's going to catch up to you right quick. Where are you going?
Diagonal.
Diagonal. Yeah.
All right, you see it. It's like
I'm
right
not.
behind you. You no?
I'm not. My movement's
Really?
actually one. My movement's actually 120.
What are you moving at?
My movement's 120. I have like a 40-foot.
More loaded down.
Yeah, I don't have as much.
Oh,
Crap
you're
on
not
it
loaded
as they
down.
do.
Oh, so you're actually okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I have 120 as well, by the way. Speaking of.
Okay, you can only move that fast if you decide to separate. Otherwise, you're going as fast as the slowest person. If you just say,
Well, if they're going to abandon the guy that we rescued from the machinations of the god, I would still like to speed ahead and see if I can get to the Well of Light first.
okay, so we're separating. That's totally fine because it is life or death situation. Goran, you are super fast. You can easily outpace Tresco as he's pounding up the quarter, and you are going to head directly north. Is anyone else going with Gorn?
Wait, I thought Goran was slow.
No,
No,
Gorn's,
I'm faster than you.
Gorn's moving at 120. Avaricios is the slow one, and if you're all staying together as a group, you have to go by the slowest person.
What's Avaricious' speed?
I think
60.
Squeegee's slower than I am. I'm at 90.
Okay.
Yeah, we should all be in the 90 range.
You weren't that for a
I'm
long
lower.
time.
Yeah. I had other stuff, but I'm lighter now. I used to be 60, but I have one.
Okay, so you're all. Is anyone slower than 90? Yonwin? No.
Yonwin is not. No, Yonwin's still 120.
Okay, if you want to stay together, then so it's 90. So it would be 270. So you could stay together and outpace him. Where do you?
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, if we got that sense, I would stay with Goran. I would want to.
Yeah, well, let's stay together. Head
Yeah,
for the
we'll
wall.
go together.
Okay.
We'll go to the wall line.
Okay, so as you barrel up north as fast as you can, you see the Well of Light in front of you. You enter into that chamber. It's dark everywhere else around, of course, except for that light. Right. As your general plan is to head west, you naturally turn that way. You can see just beyond the edge of your torchlight, sort of like reflected in the mirrors, we'll say that you can see a one of the huge 4-armed baboons, a different one, not Tresco. You think it might be Cisco, but it's hard to tell because he's basically in darkness. As he disappears into the darkness quickly, you see him dragging a white-haired, white-bearded form behind him.
Yeah.
Where do we see
Which
him?
way is he going?
West.
That's the way we're going.
So he's basically, if you look at the map, you guys are like right here at the well.
Mhm.
Okay, because of the blacklight torches. Actually, you probably wouldn't with the word blacklight torch, but just for drama's effect, I'm going to say that you see the gigantic 4-armed baboon is like right here, and he's heading in this direction.
But not Tresco. It's the other one.
It's the other one. Tresco is coming straight up towards you right now. Like you have no time to ponder what to do.
Split second. Should we go straight north through the torture chamber and see what those doors are and just fly blind there? Because we know all the apes hang out in the place that we were originally planning to go just now. Should we just keep going north?
I'm going to chase down the guy who has the old man. Don't come with me, David. Go a different direction. Fine.
I understand.
You-
I'm wondering if
YOLO
your
all the
character
time.
that wants to die.
No. I don't want to abandon the guy that we rescued from the dude. Also, if we go down this west corner and then go up north,
Yeah.
then that's the direction we were going to go anyway.
Yep. I'm with
You want to go up to the torture chamber room. We have no idea what the exits are there. We have no idea what the numbers up there. You could be running into all of the small apes that are up there.
Yeah, that'd be
No,
bad.
no apes. No apes.
I
Please.
can handle it split if we want. If we have different desires, I can handle it split if you want to do that.
No, I want to go. I want to go west too.
We'll all go together.
Okay.
Okay,
I got
I'm not
us
trying
into
to
this.
force
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna
to do
quibble too
anything.
much.
No
I'm not trying
problem.
to force you guys
That's
to do
okay.
anything.
All right,
That's what I
Tresco's
wanna do.
pounding up. You're like, fuck it.
Let's
And
go
you go running down as fast as you can. As your blacklight starts to catch up with the other giant 4-armed H in front of you, you see that it looks over its shoulder, and then it just kind of huffs a little bit, pulls back its lips in a snarl, and then hoofs it as fast as it possibly can, bumping along the ground, Anaximander, as it turns up to the north into that northern passageway, which you
These
guys want to do.
baboons have hooves. Oh my
Hoofing
god!
it.
Monsters.
What did I say?
You said hoofing it.
You know, the-
Uh-oh.
I'm just joking.
John, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Can I ask one question? Is it possible for me while I'm running, I don't know, to grab one of these ambers from my bag as we're sprinting, or is that
Of
too
course,
complex
no,
an action?
You can do that.
So I'm going to be like
You pull the
trying to pull one of these out.
the Arcanum, yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right.
You
and
could retire if you'd have lived long enough just selling one of those.
Yeah, I know, man.
by the way, I gotta go 2 minutes. I gotta go tuck in my kid.
okay.
I'll be right back.
Hurry back.
I'll run.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't let the baboon catch you.
Okay, so so you have that option now. You can go if your one of your initial plans was to keep going towards the pathway to the Oracle. That pathway is open right now.
But
You
I
can't go
think
to
your
the Oracle
point-
and rescue the old man.
yeah, I think also I think your point about being trapped in there is
Yeah,
well
I think
taken.
I think we're
That's crap.
Okay, so you bolt around the corner. As you bolt around the corner, just at the edge of your torchlight, you can see that. Okay, let me double check real quick. I just want to see if you can actually access.
hey guys. Okay, here's the one other thing.
Yes.
I say as we're hey, if you want to dodge into a room, I can make the door disappear, and I can just die myself. No, that wouldn't work. Oh fuck, how would we? No, I'm trying to see. Is there a way for me to illusion a door and just be in the
Concentrate,
wall?
get your spell back, David. It might be a full turn.
Yeah, I don't know how much it takes. That's true.
Okay, so, okay, I'm sorry.
Man, I don't know. How do we Scooby Doo out of this, man?
I think to your earlier point, we just have to see where the momentum takes us. We don't know where we're going. As soon as we end up in combat, we're going to die because then we're not moving anymore.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do? Okay.
Okay.
Plainly, the minute we're in combat, I'm gonna cast Illusory Monster and try to use that to distract so we can keep moving.
You have another
What-
spell?
No, but if I consume this,
Arcanum.
You
Fire.
I can retrieve it,
All right, you guys.
Phantasmal Force.
which allows me to do an Illusory
Let,
Monster.
let me give you the setup. This could change your whole output, so just don't plan too far ahead.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
So this is you guys are basically right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, as you whip around the corner at the edge of your torchlight, you can see that so about 20 feet away, right? Cisco comes to a dead halt. He whips an Anaximander up in front of him, okay, and he pounds on something on the ground on the wall, right. Make sure I get it right so I don't fuck it up. Right here. Okay, actually, let me put you guys right here. Okay, right in front of this mirror. Okay, so
Okay.
he pounds on the ground right here, and you can hear something go shink, and he basically bodily tosses an Anaximander into that wall. However, an Anaximander doesn't bounce off of it. He goes through it. And then you hear a shink as it shuts, as he takes his foot off of something near the ground, and he comes and he looks and he turns back around, fills up the entire width of the quarter as he extends all four of his arms, General Grievous style, and just is like, "Rah!" and like spittles like flying forward as he's like, "Come at me!" Basically,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
How many feet behind us is Tresco? Roughly.
Tresco
Not enough.
is you're about to be in a very bad position. He is basically right around the corner to the east.
I'm sure he was going to give up though and go home.
No.
I mean, he's like out of shape, breathing really hard.
We bum rush this guy, and maybe we can take him.
I'm gonna.
You know-
I can blind him. I'm going to cast light upon his eyes.
4 or 5
Okay.
hit dice. We could actually do it.
John, how do I expend one of these arcanums?
How do you what?
One of the
Is it folded in within the action? If I wanted to cast a spell, would it be within one action to cast and both use this to cast or retrieve the spell, or would it be use it to?
No, you can do it.
recall a
It's
spell slot?
like just like you had a slot ready to go.
Okay, so
also,
what I would do, guys, is do a ceiling collapse behind us to buy us time if you want to if you want to blind a guy in front of us, and then keep running.
That is my.
Does that make sense?
Keep
So I will-
running
I will-
or kill him.
I screwed up the dimensions. This gives you a little bit more tactical options. Just let me clarify. I screwed it up a little bit. I'm sorry. There is Ted, you get your pen ready here. you go up far enough where if you go up 20 feet more, okay, draw 20 feet more of the corridor. There is another door 20 feet up. Right?
Where?
To the west, I'm sorry.
Here?
Yeah. Okay, now draw another. Okay. Now there is and then draw another 10 feet. And then where where Cisco basically stomped in the ground was actually right here. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Now there is a mirror right here. And a mirror right here. Here. Wait, I'm screwing something up. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not fucking this up. Boom. Mirror. Door. Wait. I'm sorry. 1, 2. Mirror. Door. Mirror. So there's okay. There's a mirror outside. So there's no mirror here, Ted. There's a mirror here. In the door, and then a mirror right here. Okay. And then there, he stomped right here. So he is basically standing right here. Okay. And you guys are right here in between these two doors. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry about that.
And where did he throw Aximanders to?
He threw him somewhere into here.
Some kind of secret door, I think, in the wall there.
Okay.
Foot pedal activated, garbage chute maybe. Who knows?
You can see that there is a wall like right here, but that the corridor continues in this direction, right? So it actually turns a corner here.
It goes to the left. Okay.
But otherwise, he's blocking that entire corridor. Tresco is like right here. You can hear him pounding down the corridor towards you.
Right.
As we sprinted past those two doors below us,
Yeah.
were they open? Were they closed?
They're both closed. But you're in such a panic, right, that you can't tell exactly the nature of them or anything like that. They look like normal doors, but they are possible means of egress should you wish to change your plan. So, I'm sorry. So, given that you have a longer stretch of corridor right now, you're 20 feet away from Cisco, who is presenting himself to you in a very violent fashion. Tresco is pounding up the corridor behind you. What do you do?
Yes, I would like very much to cast light upon Cisco's eyes.
Okay. All right.
I would also like to cast spells. Here we go.
Yeah, while he does that, just so we have timing, let him go first, obviously, but just so we have the timing right. Before, I keep mixing up Cisco and Tresco.
Cisco's to the north. Cisco north, Tresco south.
Tresco, before he turns the corner, I want to create the illusion of a ceiling collapse. Let's say here.
Does your illusion have any auditory component?
I can either change the appearance of an affected area or create appearance of something new. Scene disappears if it's touched. It does not say anything about auditory.
It's a visual illusion the caster's choosing.
Yeah. So
maybe you use it for a monster instead, dude. Some sort of like spirit or a ghost.
The issue is I can't move. I can't move the minute I cast it. So it's a momentary.
Well, if it's opaque, right? If it's opaque and you can't see through it, then it covers.
I'm not even going to do that. Oh my god! I'm just going to I'm going to extend the wall here while he's running.
Okay.
That's temporarily.
So he might just run by.
He keeps running and he just runs right by because he gets confused.
Okay, cool. So you're casting.
Wall.
Okay, so it's okay. So Anwir's casting a spell, and Avarice is casting a spell. Now we have to roll initiative.
Sure.
Okay, so roll him.
He's rolling.
I got a 1.
Matt, he's got that nice light spell.
Matt, do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Here we go. 2, baby.
Nice. That's all it takes. All right, so you guys win. So it's move first. So the rest of you who aren't casting spells, so Squeegee, Mort, Yonwin, and Goran, where are you guys going?
I'm moving up to attack Cisco. I'm going to try. I'm not really. I mean, I don't want to try and screw myself up. I want to try and slide right between his legs so I can get behind him and then hit him in the back of the knee.
Use that new chef's
Use
knife.
that new shiny chef's knife.
It is.
Go through his
You can
leg.
immediately assess, Goran, that it's going to be near impossible to get behind him in this corridor.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. Then I'm just going to move up to him, John, and try and cut his balls off.
With what?
Yep.
With that, I'm going to try and cut his balls off. I'm going to run up to him and
With what?
chart
Yeah.
with that new shiny chef's knife.
The knife. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. And everybody else?
Give him a little the old baboon. What for?
What's Squeegee doing?
Yonwin is charging forward with his pole arm and gonna stab him.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, and Mort and Squeegee are whipping out their missile weapons, and we'll start shooting.
Okay. All right. So missile weapons first. Go ahead, Ted. Go ahead and roll for both your guys.
All right, so let's see here. I got Squeegee's on top here. We're gonna.
Oh, by the
fire off.
I should also project what I'm going to do since I lost initiative. Is that Cisco is going to wait to receive, basically, and Tresco is going to barrel in from the back.
Okay.
If he
All
can
right, so
find
here's,
the hallway.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Short bow from Squeegee.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Are
Cool.
you fucking kidding me? Nice.
All right.
Diggity dog.
Doesn't matter what
You
Cisco's
little
got.
goblin knee biter, you! I knew I loved you.
I had it in me. I had it in me, I tell you.
I'll
I
telegraph.
used to be a baboon bodyguard until I took an arrow.
I'll
to
telegraph
the knee.
ACs. By the way, to viewers out there, there's no reason not to tell your players what the AC is. It's 15.
Well, I think I diddly done hit him. Now, of course, being a only second level goblin with weak, rubbery little arms, I just do a regular old D6. I think
That's all right.
this is rubbery little arms shooting arrows at big old baboons.
Where you were then yeah. What do you get?
Roll
one.
one.
Okay, cool. It
I just made him mad.
Yep. It plunks into him. He jerks back just a little bit and grunts at you.
Okay.
Mort.
Mort's got a crossbow, and he
Wait,
missed.
Mort-
He rolled
Mort.
a-
Oh, he had it ready. Oh, we'll say he had it ready. It's okay.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's fine. We'll say he had it ready. What do you
okay.
roll? What do you roll?
He rolled a 9.
Not going to do it. It goes off.
And
Make sure
I
you're checking
think
off ammunition. That it is gone.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And then Gorand and Yonwin are moving up. Go.
I'll go. Okay. 5.
Five's not going to do it. One of its arms just casually bats aside the axe as Yonwin steps up with his, a spear or a halberd? Where's he got?
Pole arm.
Pole arm. Okay. From a
That
distance.
is
From a
a-
distance.
Oh, so close to a 17, and it was a 7.
Oh,
that
not
hurt.
going to do
That
it.
hurt.
All right. Fucker's got thick hide, and you're like, okay, that didn't go quite as planned. Okay. But then at that moment, that's when Avaricios and Anwir come to the fore. Which one of your things goes off first? It's up to you to decide.
I think Avaricious
illusion
because
first.
Why don't do your illusion first so that
okay.
the guy doesn't come up.
Use your
Sure.
illusion.
So again, just to explain my logic a little bit, whether it helps or not. In my thinking, if I make it look like a continuation of the wall, not only will he run by, but then he will have to, if he realizes there's an illusion, he'll have to figure out which square of wall. So I'm not
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
a decent
Okay.
chance that he will not actually touch the wall and make it disappear.
Yeah, I'm just like sitting there holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. That's going off first?
Yeah.
Okay, so you turn around and it becomes wall. All right, Avaricios.
That's off my
At the same time, you mumble a prayer to Lysion and light shines forth. Yes? You're attempting to blind Cisco, is that correct?
Woo, 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 woo. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the sound it makes.
Okay, it gets so Cisco gets a saving throw versus light. As the might of your newfangled god comes to bear down here in the depths. Let's see what we got here.
This is the clown god. The
What are you talking
It's
about?
the booze god. It's the Bachian.
It's the god of booze. It's part
Booze.
of the
Oh,
Big
that's
little
not
shit.
good. That's not good at risk.
Fuck, a 19.
Yeah, Cisco rolled some juice right there. So he, you cast it forth, and it, he like one of its forearms just like goes right up in front of its face, and it's like rah! As a momentarily burst of light like illuminates the entire corridor. That's when you kind of can pick out that it does branch to the left there. Off in the distance, in that direction past where the corridor turns to the left, you hear a oh, and you also hear my Siri from my watch. Gotta figure that out. All right. So that was everybody, correct? Yes. Okay. So you guys want initiative, so now it's their turn. Cisco is in melee with Gornd and Yonwin. Oh shit! You're gonna make me do it, aren't you? Gonna make
you
me
do what?
It. Fucking
make you
destroy you, rend you limb
Four
from limb.
attacks. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Yes. So welcome to 5 attacks.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
I thought I telegraphed that it had 4 arms. I don't know what else you thought, but
It's 4 arms and a bite. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
not a other limb.
correct. And if it hits with 2, it's going to rend.
Oh.
It's going to tear you limb from limb. So let's see. We got 5 attacks. Let's see who it attacks. It's going to blindly.
It's not blind though.
Yeah.
Did we blind it?
No, it's going to
you only
blindly reach out.
19 for a save.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d4 for each attack, and let's see who it hits. So 1 to 2 is
Actually, wait, John.
what?
Did Yonwin get his attack?
Yeah, Yonwin missed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I'm sorry.
1 to 2 is Goran. 3 to 4 is Yonwin. Yonwin. Oops.
Don't
That's
have to pay him.
That's Yonwin. Gorand. Yonwin. So 3 on. Okay, so it's going to be claw bite on Yonwin and claw on Gorand. Let's do Gorand first.
Yeah, let's get
Come
this
on,
over
man.
with.
Duck. Dodge. Weave.
Okay.
He's got to get a bonus. He's a dwarf. He's currently ducking.
You might get an AC a bonus against large.
Give me 1 moment.
Isn't that a thing?
I got what do we got? This amount of hit dice, so it's going to be getting a little bit of. Okay. Does a 16 hit you?
No.
Really?
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. That one.
It
hits.
would have hit me if I hadn't bought that new armor back in town.
Nice. Okay. The second one manages to get through. That was so 1 hits you, 1 claw hits you. It's going to do. We got going. A little bit of this action right here. It's going to do 3 points of damage to you, Gorand.
Ouch.
Are you wearing Are you have a shield or just the armor?
I have a shield.
Cool. Don't forget, if you want to, you can break that if you want to negate the damage.
Not yet.
Not yet. He's feeling juicy. All right. Okay, cool. So, you bat one away with your shield, but then the other claw comes like a kind of an uppercut and just cracks you right across the chin as you go flying backwards. Wow. Meanwhile, Yonwin gets the full brunt of the upper set of arms as they come pummeling down on him, and the big fucking mandrill-like face just kind of chomps down directly onto his head.
Yonwin in his rental leather armor.
What's his AC? What's his
11.
AC? 11? Hit.
Hit. You sank my henchman.
Hit.
2 hits. That's a rend. isn't it?
9. So 16, is that a hit? Yeah.
16's a hit, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So he's going to rend. So first of all, how many hit points does Yonwin have?
5.
5. Okay.
Oh,
Not
Jesus.
anymore he does it.
How many hit
4.
points does each limb have? Maybe that's better.
6.
Yeah. There he is.
There's going to be an additional rend of brutal 5. So that's 11. And then we have a bite.
Why bother, John? He's dead.
Pulp. He's pulp.
16. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it for Yonwin. This is the first time I've actually had to encounter this. I'm thinking for retainers, I'm not going to go full death and dismemberment. I think that the moment that retainers hit to 0, they're done.
Yeah,
Basically.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
He was
Yonwin.
the pulp.
Maybe if they have class levels, you could rethink that.
Like what?
Yeah,
What's
if
got
they actually get to class levels.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Ah,
Screw
that's what
you,
that
henchman. You're dead.
half XP. You don't get death and dismemberment. You just get death.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's your penalty for being a retainer. Unfortunately, Anwir, Yonwin is basically we'll say it like this. So he takes the 2 upper arms, the 2 lower arms are fending off Goran, and 1 punches Goran up in the upper face. Goran goes marching back. And meanwhile, the 2 upper arms grab Yonwin, pull him up into the air. The head comes, his mouth comes down on top of Yonwin's head, and then he just basically quarters Yonwin and just like rends him apart. All of his viscera goes spilling over Gorend, and it just drops to the ground with a dull thunk, multiple body parts, and he whips Yonwin's head and tosses it behind him back down the corridor and just bellows out.
Oh, this is fun.
While he's busy doing that, can the goblins slip under him and just get past his busy arm?
Nice try. Meantime, Tresco, who is an equal threat, if not greater, you hear pound down the corridor and just whip past towards the west, grunting the entire time. You almost take no notice of it and forget that Tresco is doing that. The only one who's paying attention is Anwir, who actually doesn't have to witness his poor retainer's dismemberment because he's focused so hard on it. I'm focused on south.
I'm envisioning Anwir down there at the end doing like Mako and
that's pretty much it. Yeah. So your illusionist seems to have deceived him at the moment. He just pounds down the western corridor. You don't know what he's going to do. That's the end of the round. So we have Gorend is now in melee. You have to declare melee movement, Gorend. Now's the time.
There are several doors.
We can't get by. Yeah, but we can't.
We don't know where they go.
It is highly. You could probably determine what the bonuses of his attack was.
Well, if I can help, like one of what I'm intending to do is not get into melee with him, but try to open those side doors and see.
Yes.
Yeah, but we have to declare what the actions are before initiative, and that's only either spell casting or melee movement.
Okay.
So Goran, what are you doing?
If I stay in melee with him, I am going to get all 5 attacks because there's nobody else there, right?
Yeah. And he does not need a lot to hit you. You are high AC, but he is wicked badass.
I am going to withdraw John and try and get in one of those doors, the closest one to me.
To the left? Okay. Fighting withdrawal or full retreat?
Fighting withdrawal.
Fighting withdrawal. Okay. So your movement would be what in melee? 40?
40, correct.
40. Okay, cool. 40 moving through that door. Okay. Now we roll initiative.
I'll go.
Ted, are you okay?
I really need to get off this game. I've got
okay. We're
a very busy day tomorrow.
We're in a bad time. Let's just do one more round of combat. Is that okay, Ted?
Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a 2. Go for it.
I rolled a 2. I also rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Roll again.
Okay. Let me get rid of my die. You son of a bitch, John.
I re-rolled ties.
I also rolled a 5.
Oh, fun son of a bitch. Keep going. I got a 4.
I think that means we're allowed to escape. I think that's what that means.
Yes, the gods have spoken.
Son of a bitch. No.
Did you get a 4?
No.
Oh, I got a 2.
Okay. All right. What do you guys plan to do? You just have to declare your intent just so I can make a good judgment for when I win initiative.
All right. Fighting withdrawal to that door.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through the doorway.
Rest of you, quick.
Holding my illusion.
If the goblins can follow along into the door, they will. If they can shoot an arrow as they do it, even better.
John, would I be able to grab the other one of those crystals out of Anwir's pack?
Yes, but you would not be able to use it, or you know what I mean. Like your action would be to take it out of the pack.
Yeah,
not to open doors.
Well, no, you could move to a door.
Yeah, I want to take it out of the pack and get to a door.
Okay, the same one that Gorn's going through, the upper west one, the northwest one.
Yeah, so we all together.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You can do that. Mort cannot. Squeegee can fire an arrow and move.
Right.
Mort cannot because he's loading his crossbow, so he has to decide which one he wants to do.
Mort is not going to load his crossbow. He's going to pull out his gladius and stick next to Squeegee as they carefully move towards the door.
Okay, cool. All right, now that's what your plan is. Cisco, so Tresco is still thoroughly deceived. Doesn't have no idea where they went. On where you can hear him come to a huffing stop, a few like 20 or 30 feet down the corridor to the west, as if he's reluctant to move forward, which tracks with what you kind of know about what's down there. Cisco, however, up at the north, one initiative, and unfortunately, he's going to get Goran's going to get the full brunt as he lays into Goran.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Your AC.
Hope the hay, man.
Your AC.
17, my friend.
17. Hit.
Stranger things have happened.
Use that shield, baby. Oh.
That's a miss.
Huh?
Hit. So three claws of hit, right?
So that's a rend, even if I use the shield to negate it, right?
Oh, the mouth, the jaw hits. So yeah, it's going to be 3 claws hit. Do you want to negate one with the shield?
I do, but I guess my question is like, even if I negate one of the claw hits, I still get rend.
Well,
right?
one more question. Are you wearing a helmet?
Yeah, I am.
I rolled a critical. You can negate. You can negate both the helmet with the critical and the shield, and you could only get hit by one.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You were actually. This is actually cool. I've never seen this happen before. It's actually lucky I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
All right. So, he just comes down totally on top of you, just like fucking swatting at you with his claws out, right? And you're just diving and rolling. Your shield goes up. He just tears it off, right? And then another claw comes and just grasps your head. You're like, oh fuck! And he just like pops off the helmet and crushes it in his hand, right? And meanwhile, one of the fists actually ends up going in, which is pretty fucking amazing, all things considered. Two more hit points of damage. I can't believe you actually survived that round.
Oh my god.
Goran, that was epic.
Mike, I'm sorry. It seemed like a great idea.
I love it. Okay, now it's your guys' turn. So, has anything changed that you want to do, or your action is staying the same?
I'm still doing fighting withdrawal and going to the door.
Okay, Goran, you're like, fuck this! And you're like, I'm out. The door thankfully opens up. Let's see if there's something awful that's in that room.
Of course there is.
One moment, please. Reticulating splines. Ted, we're almost out of here. Give me a sec.
Yep.
Just gotta double check.
I think I'm going to be split from y'all. This is going to be interesting.
I mean, isn't that kind of fair, David? That's
I think
It's 100% fair. It's 100% fair. I'm just very curious how this will pan out.
Also an interesting choice of words.
Yeah, I'll be rent from my dear compatriots.
Okay.
He never did nothing to nobody. Why are you guys treating him like this? Oh my god. All right, John, what do we got?
You've got really bad news is what you've got.
Oh no.
We will have to stop it here. So the deal is you weren't able to take notice of this because you were running pell-mell down the corridor at the time, and you had baboons chasing you from coming from either side. However, the door that you see as you're about to like fuck this, and you move to the left. The door is you see at the ground is actually spiked shut on the outside where you are. Like someone from out here actually spiked it, and there are feces, baboons' feces that have been smeared on the door as if in warning.
If the baboons are afraid of it, we should definitely not go in there.
as you grasp for the hasp. Now you don't have to keep attempting to move through that door. You were fighting withdrawal, so you can go back down if you want to.
Can we go to the other door and make it through this turn, or are we going to get attacked again?
You can. I'll say that from this distance, looking down at the edge of Avaricios' torchlight, you can see that door is also spiked with feces on the door.
This one?
Correct.
Okay, come to me, y'all. Come to me.
Oh, no. Go through the secret door where he dumped the old man.
He's standing next to it.
Can we
Yes,
jump in and activate
Come to
it?
me.
He's standing next to it, dude. You're not going to get past him.
Okay, dude, here's the deal.
impossible.
Here's the deal. Real talk. I know you have to get off. Run at me because we don't know what this looks like. We also know the ape is here. Worst case, y'all run. I drop the spell and we start running this way. Very unlikely it'll succeed, but we can maybe bend the hill in that direction. Just run at this way as fast as you can.
Okay, so everyone's converging on that door to the east, right? You can all make
Yes.
it there, no problem. You've got plenty of movement to do it.
Okay.
Okay, but that means that Anwir's
I'm holding it until they get to me. Is there shit and all that?
no, there is not. There is not, actually. It seems like a normal door. It is not spiked.
Do we want to go through it, or do we want to use this chance to run this way? Quick, call it.
I think we go through the door.
Go through the door. All right.
Go through the
Yeah,
door.
we can at least try and negotiate if we can hold him off.
All right, so
Try to block the
Anwir
door.
holds the illusion up. He's like, man, he's doing the Mako thing, right? As you guys whip around him and you just plow through that door, we're going to stop it before you even see what's beyond that door. We're going to say that you get through it. Anwir is going to drop the illusion and follow.
I'm going to follow.
And
Yes.
slam the door behind you, right?
Yes.
And
that's
we'll
the
see,
plan.
and we'll see what happens after that. All right, that was fucking epic. Okay, so just to set up the scene for next time, guys, we have the illusion is now down. Both apes are totally fine.
And one of them
One of
Thank
them took
God.
a hit point.
One of them took a
Come
hit
on.
point. One of them took a hit point. And they complete. And one of them, Cisco to the north, saw where the PCs went. So we are going to pick it up in media res with a very, very tense situation. That was an epic round of combat with Goran. I
I'm glad
cannot
you
believe
enjoyed
that.
it.
I don't know if there could be. I don't know if there could be a bigger cliffhanger in our series than this one right now.
That was so sweet though, because I didn't Deus Ex Machina at all. It was like literally the rules worked. I mean, it was great. I thought you were done. I thought you were done.
Brutal.
All right, that was great fun, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully
you, John.
we'll see you guys soon, and we'll pick it up again next time. Have a great week,
Tune in
everyone.
next week when I bring in my Dragonborn anti-paladin.
All right, everybody, take
Thank you,
care. Bye now.
Thanks, John. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.